Again, we have Texas heat. We have cosplay. There needs to be deodorant in the mix somewhere. Hello. So at the time that this video is live, DreamCon tickets for 2026, the last drop is either happening or has happened. You probably clicked on this video because you have tickets and are going. And it's probably your first DreamCon. Or if not, maybe you are just really excited and you are just looking up DreamCon content, which is what people do when they're excited for an upcoming con, so I don't blame you. This will be my 4th DreamCon, and although I'm not like one of the OGs that's been going since 2018, 2017, whenever the con first started, I still think that in the years that I have attended DreamCon, I've learned a few tips that I wish I knew in the beginning and that I want to share with other people. So I'm recording this on January 13th. And if you know anything about January 13th, it is Founders Day for the members of Delta Sigma Theta, and I have on one of my old undergraduate Delta sweatshirts from when Blackish was a cool TV show. And that leads me to my first thing about DreamCon. There are so many different kinds of folks that will be at DreamCon, and some of those folks belong to Black Greek letter organizations. And there even is an official D9 meetup. So if you are a member of a D9 org, make sure you check the schedule when it drops, because there's an official meetup for all of us. I will be honest and say that in all my years of attendance, I always seem to miss the meetup. Don't know why, but I'm hoping 2026 is the year that I'm not stuck in another panel or in the vendor hall or wherever I tend to be when the meetup is happening. Now, on the topic of meetups, there are a variety of different meetups. So, you have D9 orgs. You also have cosplay meetups. There's usually a template that circulates for each day of DreamCon, and people can put in what they plan on cosplaying as. And there are different times that people can meet up and take pictures. And I highly, highly, highly recommend going to a meetup with people that are cosplaying from the same show or manga or video game that you're dressed up as, because it's super duper fun. You meet so many cool people, and it's just so funny to have a mass group of people who are all fans of the same thing all together in one room. Pay attention to the schedule, keep your eyes on that schedule, and familiarize yourself with the map so you can know where these meetups are and what time they are. And on the topic of time, there's so many different panels to attend. There's all kinds of panels. One of my favorite panels from the last DreamCon was actually Black People Know Things does a Black People trivia, and it was so freaking fun. In fact, the room actually reached capacity. They had to kick people out. I was actually kind of sad about the people that couldn't stay for the whole trivia session. But that leads me to my next point. Get to the room for your designated panel much earlier than you think you need to. There's an allotted number of seats in some of these rooms, and some of these rooms are kind of set up kind of funny, and I'm not gonna hold you, y'all. If the room reaches capacity, they will definitely come and pull people out. They will definitely say, hey, you ain't gotta go home, but you gotta get the hell up out of here. They will tell you that. No joke. My first DreamCon was when DreamCon was in Austin. And Austin is, a relatively smaller city than, Houston, where the con is held now. And so a lot of the hotels were all in a very walking distance from the Austin Convention Center, which I loved. I highly, highly, highly recommend being walking distance, if you can, from the convention. So in Houston is very similar. There are hotels that have a designated DreamCon hotel block that surround the convention center where the convention is held at. If you can, highly recommend getting in one of those hotels. One of them even has a Texas shaped lazy river thing. I know that cost is a factor, and some people have to stay further out just because of that cost. And I trust me, I get it. But just factor in time as far as driving, to the convention center and parking. You gotta factor that in too, which kind of sucks. So if you can, highly recommend staying near the con. And then for the times where you want to get out and about just in the city of Houston, maybe just Uber. But there's also stuff that's walking distance because it's a cool little area there. Make sure you set a budget. And when I say budget, I mean like all aspects of the con. So, there will definitely be bars or, little carts where you can buy a little drink while you're partaking in con activities. There's the vendor hall. There's, the artist alley. Like there's so much to buy. And if you go in knowing, hey, this is like the maximum that I'm going to spend, it just helps you a lot in the long run. Also, Houston is a great city to just like enjoy. So there's going to be times that you want to go out to eat and stuff while you're in the city. Just make sure you have in mind what you plan on spending. So the mail delivery option for badges is new this year, but for people that are not mailing their badges to their place of residence, I would say do not pick up your badge at a peak time. Do not try it. If you know it's a time where a lot of people's flights are landing or a lot of people are pulling up, once again, they will turn you around. They will say, nope, no more badge pickup. Just do yourself a favor. Get it mailed if you can. Now that they offer it, I'm definitely taking advantage of the mail option. But if you just simply cannot take advantage of the mail option, Also, keep your badge on you. Keep it on you, keep it on you, keep it on you. The worst pain in the world is traveling from wherever you're staying to the convention center, walking up to the entrance and realizing you ain't got your badge and you gotta go back. Now, if you did what I said about the hotel and you're staying relatively close, you might not be as annoyed. But if you have to go get your car out of the parking garage and drive to the Airbnb or hotel that you're staying at to get your badge, you're gonna be mad. I know that we like to take a lot of pictures with our cosplay on. I am very much known to like snatch the badge off to take a group pic with other people who are cosplaying from the same, media as me. But don't make it a habit to not have that badge on because it's not fun when you gotta go through the don't have on a badge thing. Pay really close attention to the DreamCon app. I'm not gonna hold you. It seems like every year I go to DreamCon, something is changing. Like as far as like the RSVPing for different panels and different activities, but that app. Make sure your push notifications are on. Make sure you're checking and looking at the schedule. That app is going to be your best friend, and you need to make sure it stays your best friend. Pay attention to it. I will say cosplay repair is a important resource. Make sure you know where the cosplay repair room is and how to get to it, because something always happens. A prop breaks, something falls apart, or you simply just need an extra little piece, some extra little reassurance for, whatever issue you're having with your cosplay. They have everything in there. There's going to be hot glue guns. There's going to be bobby pins if you need to like touch up something with your makeup. And there's usually really sweet people working in there. So cosplay repair I be in the cosplay repair because something always happens. And I'm always really appreciative of cons that have a cosplay repair room. I've even seen some cons like MomoCon where there's a cosplay repair person literally walking around with a kit on them. So that's something that I feel like DreamCon should do. I don't know if that'll be something that they do this year, but that would be really cool if so, because, sometimes you can't make it to the room. Now, when you come to the convention center, obviously you might have like a personal bag with you with things that you need to keep with you. If you are struggling with what to put in this bag, I have a few things that I personally always have in mind that I think will be very helpful to know. So you can jot a little list. A fan. It is Texas in July. Need I say more? It is hot. If you know, like me, that you get hot just existing in Texas heat, have you a little portable fan, a little small fan that you can keep tucked away in your bag and pull out and give you that fresh little breeze when you need it. Water bottle. have a refillable water bottle. You know, we are a little eco-friendly around here, so I definitely think it should be something reusable, refillable. There are water fountains, water stations where you can just, you know, refill that thing as you need it. It is so important to hydrate. Oh my gosh, like, I believe in being committed to a cosplay. So if you know you're wearing a cosplay where you might get a little overheated, you need to keep that refillable water bottle. Portable charger or just your phone charger. If you plan on being at the con and pulling like an all day, like you're there in it when it opens and you're there till it closes. If you're like me and you still rocking the iPhone 13 Pro Max, you're gonna need a charger at some point. Portable chargers can be hit or miss. Sometimes I honestly just bring my actual phone charger and locate an outlet when there's a time where like my feet need a break from walking around, and I can just sit down and charge up at an outlet. Hand sanitizer. If you are going to be snacking, eating on site, because there is food available on site, don't be nasty. Clean your hands. You could always go to the bathroom and wash your hands too, but sometimes, you know, if that's not always accessible and you just need something quick. All right, guys, I'm gonna lean in close for this one because this is a very prominent talking point in the community. Deodorant. Some of you may be signing up for those tournaments in the gaming hall, and I don't mean to stereotype. This is something that everybody should be wearing. Again, we have Texas heat. We have cosplay. There needs to be deodorant in the mix somewhere. I say keep it on you because you never know, like, you know, you might need a little touch up. I myself am a sweaty person. I think it's important to be real with yourself. I be nervous, so I be having my little mini deodorant with me. Gum, mints. Whatever your preference is. I know some people don't chew gum, some people prefer mints. But I think it's important because, you know, when you're meeting new people, especially like if you're going to a big cosplay meetup, it's nice to know that your breath will not fry the person you're speaking to. Okay, this one is for the 21 and ups. You know, sometimes you kind of want to keep that thing on you. That refillable thing. That way you can order some soda and then add in some stuff from your refillable thing. That's all I'm gonna say. Drop it in the lines if you're 21 and up. Pain meds. All of my people that have the wide range of autoimmune and migraines and injuries and whatever there is that afflicts the human body. We are fragile human beings. I say keep your pain meds with you. You never know. They even make like little travel size ones. Like, I know me, I'm quick to get a little headache. So back on the refillable water thing to make sure you're hydrated, and also pain meds because you never know. A little pain, a little thing might pop up, you know. All my menstruating folks, it would suck for Mother Nature to be paying a visit during DreamCon, but it could happen. Snacks. This is an underrated one. If you don't feel like paying the price for whatever is offered in the little makeshift food court that they have, I definitely say pack you some snacks. If you know there's some things you prefer, you might need to like reach down during a panel and have a little bite, have a little chomp chomp. A snack or two will not hurt if it can fit in your bag. I think it's a perfect addition. And now this is going to be my random pro tip section. Things I just think are cool little tips that I wish I would have known. If something is not going to get to you in time, like a piece for your cosplay in time before you leave for your flight, I highly recommend just shipping it to wherever you're going. Shipping it to the hotel or putting it to a pickup location. Like if it's from Amazon, you can set a pickup location of like a Whole Foods or something in Houston and you can pick it up when you're there. I've done that. And it's a hack that comes in handy when you need it. Also, whether you're going solo or with a crew, sort out what y'all plan on doing outside of the con. You know, are there certain restaurants you plan to eat at? This is not sponsored, but shameless plug. Lost and Found is one of my favorite places that I like to hit every time I'm in Houston. So, you know, there's also plenty of parties. There's going to be like the DreamCon sponsored parties that are put on at the convention center, but then there's also parties like off-site. You know, kind of get sorted in your mind where y'all plan on spending time outside of the con. Another tip I could give is contingency plans. You may not be able to get into everything that you planned on. Things reach capacity, or you might not have gotten there at the time that you originally planned. But I think the important thing is to, you know, have a contingency plan and know that, you know, you're still going to be able to have fun, have a great time at the con, even if you don't get into every single activity, every single panel that you wanted to. Hello. It is I here from the editing suite. In my excitement and despite my diligent note checking that I thought I was doing, there were a few things that I forgot to say that I think are also really important, so I'm just gonna add them in. So I wanted to talk more about cosplay. Cosplay is supposed to be fun. Cosplay is supposed to be creative. I don't feel like there is a wrong way to cosplay. In fact, I think the best cosplays are the ones where they have a little extra creativity. I love seeing people take a character and have braids with it or have a do-rag with it, because that's what DreamCon is about. All of the black nerds coming together, and the stuff that we're into fuses with our culture. And you know, I think that's cool. I love that. That's one of my favorite parts. There are gonna be a lot of cool cosplays, even when you're just walking around, like you're gonna see people and be like, oh my gosh, they're such and such, I need to get a picture of them. People are usually really like excited to take pictures, you know. I think when I talked about cosplay earlier, I talked about only like the meetups, but like beyond the meetups, you're just gonna be walking from place to place in the convention center, and you're gonna see people, and it's gonna be really fun to just like, you know, politely ask them, hey, like, can I get a picture with you, or can I get a picture of you? I love your cosplay. And usually people are really receptive, but you know, always give people that agency and ask first. You want permission. It's also a great way to meet people, because you tag them in that photo that you guys took on Instagram, and then you follow each other, and the next thing you know, you got someone to look forward to seeing at the next con. I don't know how I forgot this, but I also forgot, bring your Switch. That might be a little bit slept on, but like when you're sitting and charging your phone, or just resting your feet, or waiting in between, you know, one of the basketball games, or one of the panels or something, you can sit somewhere and like if you're with people that also have their Switch, like you could just like play games. I've done it before. It's really fun. It's really cute. Another thing to pack, if you're like me and getting back into your retro gaming bag and recollecting, you know, versions of all your old consoles, bring your 3DS. In my Otakon vlog, I brought my 3DS to Otakon and I turned on Street Pass, and it was so cool to see how many Street Pass hits I got. So I highly recommend putting this in your bag too and having Street Pass turned on, because it's just really fun. Because what other place are you gonna get that number of Street Passes on just walking around casually? Another cosplay tip that I like to do, because I'm usually doing like cosplays that I piece together and do my own creative twist with. And I typically do stuff like that because it'll either be something I already have or something that I know I can wear again outside of cosplay. So that's just another tip for like people that might be like newer to cosplay, or, you know, trying to figure out the best way to cosplay. A closet cosplay is like sometimes really freaking cool and really comes together really well and is really creative. Also, of course, there's going to be a ton of your favorite creators and people that you see online at the con. I think the biggest thing that I believe is like, you know, they want to enjoy the con too. So like, don't like be weird or make it weird for them. But like, if it's someone you really like and you want to stop them and take a picture, and like they're in a time where they can do that, a lot of times they are really excited and happy to meet people. I mean, that's part of the reason why they're there. They're con goers too, just like us, and they want to enjoy the con as well. But they're usually really, really nice and happy to meet people when it's a good moment to meet someone and take a picture. I truly think that was all the things I forgot. At least I hope it was, but who knows? There might be a part 2 of this. Okay, anyway, editing Alexis, over and out. This was a random collection of tips, but these are all things that were like very top of mind for me. I'm hoping they come in handy. And honestly, I'm just hoping to really meet more folks at DreamCon this year. One of my favorite things about DreamCon is that, you know, it's a whole bunch of black folks getting together that, you know, at baseline are into some of the same things that you're into. So it's such a great place to meet people. I think that's my favorite part of cons, is meeting people. I always leave cons with a new friend. If this is your first DreamCon and you see me, please say hi. I'm just excited and I'm excited that so many other people are likely excited too. And yeah, if this is your first DreamCon, that's super exciting. Over and out. Oh, DreamCon! Oh!